Hi, this is Barry J. McDonald, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post over at rightcome.com. And today we're going to be looking at 9 things to keep in mind before you outsource your work. So the first one you need to do is you need to sit down with a pen and paper, and you need to work out what is the most pressing job, the ones that you're weakest at. Because if you can actually get somebody who's good at those jobs and take them off your hand, it frees you up to do other things. So it's not just the things that maybe that you're good at, but actually just to start at the ones that you're weakest at first and get somebody to handle those. And then once you get those, then you can actually hire somebody then later on as you get more money and you can afford to do so. Then you can actually outsource other work that you like doing that you can do, but that's maybe taking up some of your time. So first of all, actually hire somebody that can do your weakest work, and then work out your budget. Have you got money for a one-off job? Say, for example, whether it's maybe an author and you're actually a book cover. Have you got money to do hire somebody just a one-time job to do that book cover, or would you like to hire them on a full-time basis to do all your book covers? So again, it's sitting down and planning out your budget as well too. It goes a long way to finding the right person for you and where to go looking for them. Now, as well too, the simple jobs are going to get the most replies. If it's only just a simple thing as just making a book cover, you're going to be swamped with people who can actually do it. Whether if your job is more complicated, maybe it's a social media thing, or maybe it's installing some kind of software, you're going to have a smaller amount of people actually applying for your job. So just take that into account then, that you're going to, if it is a simple job, you're going to have to do a lot of sifting to find the right candidate for doing the job for you. And then another thing you need to take into mind is what countries suit your work. Although maybe for some jobs, like for example maybe a book cover or things like that, it mightn't be language mightn't be a problem, but for maybe editing and things like that, you need somebody that actually has a strong knowledge of the English language and grammar and things like that. Things maybe like software and stuff like that, you might get away with maybe somebody who has poor English, and they'll be able to know what to do the job. But for that reason then as well too, not just the language thing, but actually the time zones. If you're living on the West Coast, you're living in America and things like that, and then the person you're dealing with is living in the Far East, you're going to have to allow time difference for replies and things like that. Maybe you might actually ask a question today, but it might be tomorrow before you actually get a reply to it. So you have to take that into account. How pressed are you for time for getting the job completed. Maybe it might be better actually paying a little bit more and actually hire maybe somebody in the States or in your own country that can do the work for you in a quick amount of time, and actually be running on the same kind of work hours that you're running on. And then as well to be patient. You might jump at the first person that actually applies for your job and think they're the perfect one for you, but it could be a big mistake because maybe they aren't the right person and you're going to live to regret it. Maybe they mightn't do the work properly, and you might have closed down that account and maybe missed out on a candidate that was actually a lot better. So in the case of outsourcing, it pays to have a bit of patience and to take your time and sifting through and find the right one for you. And then when you do find the right person, you're going to need to find out more about them, maybe through a talk on Skype and things like that, and actually see maybe, are they open to receiving constructive criticism. In my case, in the past, before I hired a lady to do some writing for me, and when I received the writing, I thought it was different from what she had shown me in the sample, and I had brought this point to her, but she refused to rewrite the passages that I had asked her to do, and couldn't, when it came to criticising her work, constructive criticism, she couldn't take it at all. And because of that job was just a total waste of my time, her time, and my money, because I had a job completed that wasn't to my liking. So you have to find someone that actually can, to work to your standards and can actually, work with constructive criticism and don't take it wrongly, and can actually, go back and then re-alter the work down to your liking. And then as well too, to get their best jobs, you're going to have to give them examples of your work. You wouldn't walk into a hairdresser and just say, well, I would like my hair cut like this, because, you might have a picture in your head of what the haircut might look like, and the hairdresser might have something else. So if you can, include as many images or examples of text, or, as much as you can, give them as much information as you can, so they know exactly when they begin what you're looking for, and that you've explained to the best of your ability, so that it cuts down on the time and having to do reworking and things like that. So by giving as much examples of work as you can, it kind of cuts down on all those things. And then be aware of, of experts of everything. I've often applied for jobs, posted jobs in place like Upwork for maybe a book cover, and then you could have somebody applying for it who say he's a genius at book covers, and he's a genius at social media, and he's a genius at WordPress, and he's a genius at this and that and the other, when in fact, you know in your heart that they might have some knowledge in everything, but do you really want somebody that has a little bit of knowledge in everything, or would you rather pay for somebody who's actually an expert? If you applied for you posted a job on social media, if you had somebody that was solely their focus was social media, well then you'd probably know that they would be better off than somebody who's who's good at everything but actually isn't a master at anything. So in that case, beware of experts that seem to be experts of everything. And then as well too, finally then, your outsourcer has a life of their own. Although you're paying them to do this job, they have other commitments outside that you mightn't actually know about. So, be reasonable about their time and the expectations of when you actually want the work done, because at the end of the day, they're only human, they're not robots. And, treat your outsourcers with respect and build a relationship with them. And, if you're both happy with it, you can work for, who knows, in the future, and other jobs you can actually work together on. So, treat your outsourcer with some with some respect, and be respectful of their time, and how quickly they can actually do the work. So I hope you've learned a lot from this short video today. So my name is Barry J. McDonald, and if you'd like to find out more about me, or you like more content, come on over to rightcom.com. Okay, bye bye.